All right, let's break this down because this whole situation is honestly wild. So, here's what went down. The guy who allegedly broke into Beyonce's choreographer's car is now saying, "I'll see y'all in court." And yeah, he really means it. Back in July 2025 in Atlanta, a man named Kelvin Evans reportedly targeted a vehicle owned by Christopher Grant. Now, Christopher isn't just anybody. He's Beyonce's choreographer, someone closely connected to her work and projects. According to reports, Kelvin smashed the window of a 2024 Jeep wagon and grabbed 2 suitcases from inside. But here's where things take a serious turn. These weren't just random bags with clothes or everyday items. Inside those suitcases were jump drives containing unreleased Beyonce music, along with show plans, a MacBook Pro, and even AirPods. So this wasn't just a simple car break-in anymore. This potentially exposed private, unreleased material from one of the biggest artists in the world. And what makes it even crazier? This isn't new behavior for him. This guy has reportedly been arrested more than a dozen times for similar car break-ins. So at this point, it's not just a mistake. It's a pattern. This is literally what he does. Eventually, he was caught and taken into custody. But instead of admitting guilt, he pleaded not guilty. Prosecutors then offered him a deal that would have landed him about 5 years in prison. But Kelvin wasn't having it. When the judge asked if he wanted to reject the deal, he didn't hesitate. He said, "I'm ready to go to trial now." And just like that, everything escalated. Because he turned down that offer, and considering his long criminal history, prosecutors are now pushing for the maximum sentence, which is 6 years. And honestly, when you think about it, that's only a 1-year difference from the deal he rejected. Now here's the part that's really concerning. None of the stolen items have been recovered. The jump drives, the unreleased music, all of it, still missing. Nobody knows where it is or who might have access to it right now. And you already know Beyonce is not happy about this. I mean, this is sensitive, unreleased work. There's no telling what could happen if that content ends up in the wrong hands. But if we're being real for a second, from his perspective, the decision kind of makes sense. If someone is already a repeat offender and used to jail time, and the difference between taking a deal and going to trial is just 1 extra year, a lot of people would take that risk. Right now, the maximum he's facing is 6 years, compared to the 5 years he was offered. Not a huge gap, especially in his situation. As for what happens next, his trial is scheduled for September 2026. So yeah, this story is far from over. Let me know what you think about all of this. All right, let's get into the next story because this one definitely has people talking. So, 21 Savage finally made things a little more public when it comes to Latto. He recently posted her on his Instagram, and not just any random post. It was a picture of Latto featured on the cover of Paper magazine, and he captioned it, "Big Mama, not the little one." Now, if you've been following the situation, you already know this stirred things up instantly. Latto has been catching a lot of heat ever since she revealed her pregnancy. And while people keep saying allegedly, let's be real, most folks are convinced that 21 Savage is the father. That's where the controversy really kicks in. The issue is, 21 Savage is still legally married to another woman. So naturally, the internet wasted no time labeling Latto as the side chick, calling her a homewrecker and dragging her left and right. But here's where things get a bit deeper. 21 Savage and Latto have actually been linked for around 5 years now, just very low-key. It wasn't until earlier this year that Latto openly confirmed to TMZ that he is, in fact, her man. So this isn't some brand new situation. It's just been kept quiet for a long time. Still, despite him finally posting her, a lot of people aren't buying it. Some are calling it a forced post, like it didn't come from him naturally. Others are even joking that Latto might have been the one behind the upload herself. Now, honestly, this whole situation doesn't seem as simple as people are making it out to be. Because if you really think about it, what married man publicly posts another woman like that? Not only that, but there have also been talks about him getting Latto's name tattooed. That doesn't exactly scream happily married. So to me, it feels like there's more going on behind the scenes. Maybe he and his wife are no longer together. Maybe they're separated, but haven't made it official, publicly. Or maybe, and this does happen, they have some kind of mutual understanding in their relationship. At the end of the day, we don't have all the details. And situations like this are rarely just black and white, no matter how quickly the internet tries to label them.
21 Savage posted Latto on his Instagram. I ran to go check. Y'all, please stop playing with me. I go to his motherfucking page. I check the page. Ain't nothing on there. I click on the story. Why this man didn't repost that her paper magazine cover? Be serious. This girl is 6 months pregnant with your baby. And you can't even make a post like, can't wait to see our child. I'm so happy I'm bringing life into this world. Congratulations. I love you. Anything. Honestly, anything. And I just know that Latto begged him to repost her. Like, I just know she begged him because she's getting absolutely dragged and dog walked for this man never claiming her once in the entirety of their entire relationship. And he still hasn't. And he still hasn't. Like, posting a paper magazine cover is not a claiming. This is not claiming. I feel bad for my girl. I feel so bad for my girl. You know how men switch up on you once you had that baby, once you pregnant, once you in the house, once you raising children. And I could just see it coming from a mile away. See, I'm the type of person, I don't really give a fuck about baby mama culture. I don't think there's anything wrong with women raising children on their own. My problem with women raising children on their own is when they expect to be kept women. When they expect men to be around, when they expect a certain type of man and then don't get it. That's when it becomes embarrassing and childish. Next thing you know, bitches is talking about deadbeat babe dads, men who never show up for them. Why would you expect this type of man to show up for you? What, like, I don't know. I don't know what he do for her behind closed doors. Maybe what he do for her behind closed doors is enough. Maybe it's deeper than, social media and public perception and blah, 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 blah. But I've never seen public perception not play a part in how a man treats a woman. I'm sorry. Pattern recognition, right? I see it failing miserably. I hope it doesn't. But either way, Latto's going to be a great mom. So, whatever.
And for all y'all that keep saying that 21 Savage treated Amber Rose better, he did this and that with Amber, let's break something down. Amber was in her 30s at the time that she was dating him, and he was in his early 20s, like 23, 24, literally a kid. He was not married during the time, because according to the sources that I have searched on, he didn't get married till 2020. He dated Amber Rose from 2017 to 2018. What I honestly believe is that Miss Amber Rose had ripped that 304 cootie cat power on him, honey, on his little 20-year-old butt, and he was sprung on Miss Amber. If you go back and you look at pictures of him and Amber together, it literally looks like a mother with her son. It looks like a mother with her son just on a day out. Amber already had been in the industry, was probably used to dealing with certain men, and being that she was older than him, she was hip to certain things. When I look at him and Latto, it gives that she's more into him than he's into her. She gives that she's kind of running after him. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't matter how pretty you are as a woman. When a man starts to view you a specific way, and when I say view you a specific way, like when you begin to make yourself look desperate or thirsty, to that man, no matter how pretty you are, he begins to devalue you. Period. That's all it was.
But now, I really want to hear your thoughts on all of this. What do you think about 21 Savage finally acknowledging Latto publicly, even if it was in a subtle way? Do you feel like it was genuine, or does it seem a little forced? And more importantly, what do you think is actually going on between him and his wife? Do you think they're still together, separated, or just handling things in their own way behind the scenes? Drop your opinions in the comments because this situation definitely has a lot of layers to it. That's everything for now. I'll catch you in the next one.